Hello, everyone. This is Rose. Today's topic from the Book of Life is the millennial generation is having difficulties in raising not two children, not three children, but a single child. They are crying out. It's hard based on what they say. It's hard. That's what I'm hearing. And so let's talk about it. I love watching reality TV. I discovered reality TV, I guess about 3 years ago. I'm thinking maybe a little bit longer. I'm not sure. But I love watching it because it helps me stay in the now, because each generation brings on a generational change. The older generations, I'm a baby boomer, and we pass down principles and values to each generation, but each generation, they add to it what they take away from their parents. They get some certain principles and values from their parents. They don't take in everything that you pass down. They don't, use everything, but they take what they want and what they need and they make it their own. They add to it. So you see a generational change in each generation. And so I'm looking at this millennial generation and I'm seeing that they are the generation of what I call the microwave stage. Everything has to be quick and fast for this generation. We don't take time to do anything. If you can't do it within 10, 15 minutes, it's too slow. No, we want stuff quick and fast. So I look at this and I say, I'm watching this reality TV, and it's this one show in particular that I was looking at. And this show is called Love and Marriage Detroit. And it's not that the show is all of that in a bag of chips. It's not that. It's that. It just captured my attention because I'm looking at these beautiful, beautiful people, these couples that are on this show. And then I'm looking at the way they're behaving I'm seeing couples and individuals in the couple. I can't say it's both the male and the female. Sometimes it's a male or a female, and sometimes it's both of the male and the female in the couple that acts immature, messy, condescending, and bougie. I'm just seeing them. I'm looking at them and going, wow. Wow, this is a generational shock. The way I'm like, wow, and so I that's what got me tuning in because I'm like, look at these how these people are acting. It's just amazing. It really caught my attention. So I'm looking at them and they're beautiful couples. They don't really speak on what they do for a living. Too many of them. You just know they're making money, but it's like, okay, what are we getting out of this? Because I don't see where they talking about their jobs. They don't show them on their jobs doing anything. It only showed them how they should being messy towards each other, bougie towards each other, condescending. And like I said, it's not all the couples. There's about 5 couples on there. And my two favorite couples, they don't act like this. And that couple is Brandon. Um, his name is Brandon, and his wife name is I think it's Christina. Brandon and Christina. I'm trying to find my notes here because I know I wrote their name down somewhere. But Brandon and Christina, they are genuine. They are real. That couple is very real. They own reality TV and they're gonna give you the reality of their relationship. They're not gonna be fake and phony. They're open, and they are really on display. They giving you the reality of their life, and they seem to be a humble couple, very humble. They don't seem to be bougie, even though they may have it like that. They don't seem to act that way. And another couple I like that is not like that. The guy name is Bravo, but I don't know the wife name. I didn't write down her name. I don't remember her name. But I know this guy Bravo and his wife, they are down to earth. They're good spirit. You could just see that they're good spirited people. This couple seem to be the in between Brandon and Christina and the other three couples. Because those other three couples, oh, they at top of the list. Messy, immature, bougie, condescending. They at the top of the line in that category. And the only one who you know is doing something is Anthony's wife, because he's forever calling her Dr. Thomas. I think that's their last name, Thompson. I think it's Dr. Thompson. So he forever calling her Dr. Thompson, but I think she's a sports psychologist. She work in the sports field, and she's a psychologist or something like that. I don't remember what they said she does, but the rest of them, you don't know what they do for a living. But it's like, but you see they in nice places, they in nice homes, they dress nice, they drive nice cars, but they basically just get together to turn up their nose or turn down their nose or whatever you call it to each other, because it's like, what is your purpose for this show? And so I'm looking at it, and then you could see where you don't see any family interactions where the wife is cooking, everything is fast food, cater food, eating out type thing. You don't see that structure, that family structure in the home. But what gets me is, now I like now I like Kobe and his wife. I mean, no, Kobe is the wife. I'm trying to think of the wife husband name. Um, I can't think of her husband name. Russell. That's it. It's Russell and Kobe. I like them. They part of that group that is messy, immature, condescending, but it's not Russell. It's his wife, Kobe. She don't realize she is, but I like them. I like them much better than the other two couples that go into that category. It's something about them that is funny. Now, the thing about them is, I could say that they may be bougie, but Kobe, she's bougie for real. She's not faking. She's not fake. She gonna be genuinely who she is in your face. I'm bougie. I am bougie. She gonna be give you 100% who she is. And that's just her. And that's her. That's this generation thing that she is in. And that's how she feel it's supposed to be. So, when I first started watching, she ended up getting pregnant. And she got pregnant. That was last season. And she says that her job is an influencer content creator. She makes this content creator. She does this social media type thing. So she decided that she was going to do a baby reveal last season, because she has one child. Her and her husband Russell has one child who is 3 years old, and they getting ready to have another baby. And she's been praying for a boy. She want a male child. She don't want another daughter. She's been praying for it. She believes God's going to bless her with it, because that's what she's been praying for. Now, Russell, I understand that last season he was studying to be a pastor. He was working a job, and he's trying to open up a gym. So he got a lot going on. And you could tell that him being a pastor, a minister, would be good for him, because He seemed to have that type of spirit, that type of personality that a person will want to listen to him, that he can deliver that word of God, and he can draw your attention in, because he seemed to be very calm spirit, humble, intelligent, and I like that about him. But his wife, oh, she's I like her too, but she is yeah, she's a spoiled child. You could tell she was a spoiled child. I don't know if she's the only child her parents have, but she's definitely a spoiled child, and it comes across. But anyway, so she gonna have this gender reveal. She gonna get some, be a content creator with it, and get some, footage out of it, and she's all happy and so forth. But honey, when that thing got bust, that let the colors come out to tell her the child she gonna have, and she saw she was having another girl, she boo-hooed and cried. They had to cut the camera. I guess her creation, influence content creator, had to come to a short, because she boo-hooed and cried. She was so mad. She was genuinely mad. She was mad at God because she prayed for a boy and she getting another girl, and she don't want to be another girl mother, and she want a boy because girls, they love their daddy, but I need somebody for me, and I need somebody who's gonna love me and who's gonna be with me and under me and close to me, and that's gonna be a boy child. And she was just crying and boohooing and crying, and she was genuinely mad because she got so mad when people was trying to tell her, be grateful that you're gonna have a healthy, blessed baby. I mean, Tasmanian devil came out of that girl. I mean, he was like, yeah, about that. What up, boy? Oh, she was hot. She was livid. She was hot. So they let her aunt, they had to bring in someone wiser and older. They let her aunt come in to talk to her. And her aunt kind of got her calmed down because she was livid. She was so hot. So they got her calmed down. So I'm like, okay, that's good. And she being pregnant, we understand the hormonal change when you're pregnant. You go, that hormonal change, you just, everything gets on your nerve. Nothing is pleasing, and so forth. So I understand she was going through that. Now it's the new season. It's the new season, and they start off with her complaining again. So she's complaining because, she's 7 months pregnant now. So the new season had to start right after, they had to film it right after the last season, even though some months passed before they showing it. But you could tell because she's only 7 months pregnant. And I think she left off 5 months pregnant in the whole season. I don't recall. But anyway, she's 7 months pregnant. And her husband is in his office in their home working. He, I guess, decided to work from home this particular day. And he's in the office working, and she goes in to talk to her husband. So she's sitting there, and she just started talking about how hard it is to raise this single child they have, this 3-year-old child they have. It's hard. I mean, she was like, it's hard. It's so hard. That's how she was doing. I kid you not. It's so hard. Oh, it's so hard. And I'm like, really? I'm like, oh my gosh, she couldn't have survived in my mama and my grandmama days when they was working in the fields, picking cotton with a baby on their chest, wrapped around their chest, and a baby on their hip. And in my mama days, when they had to go out and pick greens from the yard and come in and cook them, and to make bread from scratch and make biscuits from scratch, and clean and take care of the kids and keep that house and do all of this stuff. She couldn't have made it. She couldn't have did what they did, because those are the principles that was passed down to me. And I raised 4 kids in my household. And guess what? I went outside my household and had a full-time job. I worked a full-time job. And guess what? I came home and I cooked dinner. Guess what? I washed their clothes. and made sure they had clean clothes for school. Guess what? I took them to extracurricular activities after school, like baseball, basketball, whatever whatever they got into, and took them out on the weekends and did things with them, and took care of my household. Made sure my house was clean. My kids was clean. They was well taken care of. Working a full-time job. I did this. Got up early in the morning, dropped them off at school, made sure that the YMCA bus picked them up after school and took them to the YMCA. When I got off work, I went to the YMCA and got them, brought them home. I didn't stop at fast food. I came home and cooked the meal. I came home and made sure they had homework done because they're supposed to do it at the YMCA. But if you didn't, I'm checking it. I'm gonna make sure it's done. I'm making sure that my job don't end as a parent because I have a daytime job. My job don't end. Even when they sleeping, my job don't end because those are the times I'm trying to throw a load in the washer and I'm trying to get prepared for the next day. And I get up and I do it all over again. Mommy don't get no time to herself. You know, you gotta sometimes put those kids when they little down for a nap so you could have a moment to breathe. If it's a weekend and you don't have to work, put them down for a nap so you can have a moment to yourself because you do need a moment to yourself. But you complaining and you just got one? And then this is what she was complaining to her husband about. The baby is 3 years old and she's not potty trained. She's complaining. She said, she is so hard. It's so hard potty training her and you're not helping me. That's what got me. I was like, what? I was taken back. She complaining to her husband, you are not helping me. And why can't you help me? It would be so much easier and maybe she will learn if you help me. And he tells her in his calm manner that he is very calm man. I don't think he's doing it for TV. I think that's his personality. He has a very calm spirit about him. And he looks at his wife and he tells her, he said, that's why I retired you. I retired you from working so that you can have more time into the household and in raising our daughter. And she's like, but still, so hard. I mean, she really putting it on. It's so hard. And so he said, well, what is it you got to do? Well, I need help in potty training her. Why can't you help? He said, look, honey. He said, I got up today at 6 o'clock in the morning because I had a 7 o'clock meeting. He said, I'm working. I'm trying to get a business, this gym business open up soon. He said, I don't have time to sit home and potty train our daughter. That's why I retired you. She said, but you don't seem to care how hard it is for me. He said, no, I don't. That's what you're supposed to be doing, is focusing on those things. Then she gets mad at him because he said he didn't care that she has to do that. And it wasn't that he didn't care about her feelings. What he's saying is you ain't doing anything out of the average that any mother has to do. That's why I'm going out being the breadwinner. That's why I'm retiring. I retired you from your job as an influence content creator. So you can focus on your daughter and on our household. And she wasn't getting it. And so the daughter comes in the room, into the office. A beautiful, beautiful little girl. She's so sweet and so precious and just a beautiful little girl. And what got me was, I guess I must have forgot that at 3 years old, how well they talk. Because let me tell you something. This little girl spoke English better than I do. She comes in because her diaper needs to be changed. So she comes in and the mother looks at the husband like she wants them to change her diaper. So the mother looks at the husband like, you gonna do it? And he just sat there and looked at her. And then she go, I guess I'll do it. And you know what the daughter said? Let me tell you what the daughter said. The daughter said, no, mommy, no, I don't want you to change my diaper. I want daddy to change my diaper. You want to know why? Because I'm mad at you and I'm not speaking to you. And then she turns to her daddy and say, Daddy, you change my diaper because I'm mad at mommy and I'm not speaking to her. It's a reflection on the daughter. This is a reflection on the mama. It's fine. That there's a gap in between the millennials and the generation before them. Because obviously, the millennials, I'm going to tell you, you guys get in this thing where you don't want to hear nothing that the generations before you have to say. You don't want to hear it because that's old. We in a new age. We in a new day. What you saying is old. We don't want to hear it. So therefore, you don't learn nothing when it comes to doing common stuff like cleaning, cooking, taking care of your kids. You don't learn that. But when it comes to that social media, oh, you good. You skilled on that. That's one thing that us older generation have to come to you for. Because you so skilled on social media. You know how to see people come to you all, you influencers, so they don't have to pay for big commercials on TV anymore. They just give y'all some free product and say make a commercial and give you a few coins, and they ain't got to pay those millions and thousands of dollars for a commercial on TV because you guys gonna get it out there on social media. You skill when it comes to that. You skill on looking up stuff, but when it comes to common stuff that you need to do in your household, that's where you like at. You don't have the patience and the time. Nobody got time to be washing no dishes. Give me a dishwasher. Nobody got time to be taking care of no laundry and washing clothes. Do they not have machines that can wash and put them in the dryer and dry at the same time and fold them up? So all I have to do is put them away because y'all don't want to do anything. Everything is this microwave stage. It got to be fast. It got to be instant because you don't have time to do nothing but put your head into that computer, your laptop, your phone. It's all social media. AI is now writing stuff for y'all. You don't even have to. You could just tell AI what you're looking for, and it'll come up with a whole essay, a whole paper for you in school. See, and that's scary. Because when you get in these schools and you pass in these grades because AI is doing your work for you and you become a doctor, well, hell, do you really know how to do this surgery? Ooh, it's scary living in this generation, coming up with these new generations where they're not really learning the principles and the things of how to do stuff because they got technology doing it for them. And so I'm looking at that, and so they end that part right there. They left it right there. They didn't have any further discussion. They jumped to another scene. And then they have a scene where Kobe now is having lunch with her girls. The other two couples, the girls from the other two couples, the ones that I tell you are very messy, very bougie, very condescending, very immature, you know, and she's having lunch with them. And she says to them, she's talk about how hard it is to raise her daughter. It's so hard, and that she's just concerned that when she have this next baby, how it's going to be even more difficult for her to raise this child. She said, it's just so hard. I just can't get anything done. Get what done? You a stay-at-home wife. You a stay-at-home mom. Get what done? Do you clean? Do you cook? What do you do? Because the cameras ain't showing you doing nothing but complaining. So what do you do? Get what done? And so she tells them, she says, so me and my husband was talking, and she says that Russell and I decided to get a pair. I don't know if I'm saying it right, because it's a French word, but I know what it means. She said, we're getting an arm pair, a R pair, R pair, whatever it's called. It's AU and then the word pair, R pair. That's what we're getting. So then she looks at the other two ladies. She said, do y'all know what that means? Oh, they got offended because you forgot they more bougie than you are. They more uppity than you are. They more condescending than you are. So they got offended. They gave her the side eye, and then she saw how they was looking at her, and then she went on to clean it up by saying, "Well, it's because the African American community don't know what an ampere is. They don't know what that is." And so that's her way of explaining to them the reason why she asked them that they know what it means. And the one girl said, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, me and my husband discussed me getting one when I had my baby, but I couldn't have to take nobody coming into our house to live." Excuse me. So that's what she said. So the doctor, Thompson, she's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I know what it is. And then she didn't stay quiet. She didn't say what it was. She just stayed quiet. So she's like, well, yeah. And then, so from the other lady saying, we just couldn't take nobody coming into our house, actually living in our house. She said, I don't think I can handle that. So Kobe said, well, I was thinking the same way until I met who we chosen to be our pair. And once I met her, then I'm like, okay, I can see that. Now, let me tell you what an ampere is. An ampere is a French uh, name for a nanny. We call them nannies here, except for they have a little bit more responsibility than a nanny does. Because, see, nannies can live in your household or they can live out of your household, but they're in your house every day taking care of your kids, basically. They take care of your kids, they do everything for your kids. And but what an ampere does is they live in your household and they do everything that a wife do except for sleep with the husband. So we want to believe, but they do everything. They cook, they clean, they take care of your kids. They even cook food for you. They cook food for the family. They basically take care of your household and they're paid through an allowance rather than a salary. But the thing is, you take care of them like they are a household member. You take care of them. That means you pay for everything that they need. It's like if your kids need clothes, your kids need diapers, your kids need this. You buy everything that they need, you take care of them, and then you give them an allowance, and you under contract with them. They may be there a year or 2 or 3 years, but you under contract to take care of them for that amount of time, and they just take care of everything. So she's gonna get her pair because a nanny is not gonna do everything she wants them to do. So she can sit at home and do what? Why do she need someone to come in her house and take care of everything in her house? The cooking, the cleaning, the washing, the taking care of her baby, the potty training her baby. For her to do what? Is she going to go back to become an influence content creator? To do what? And I'm sitting up here going, this new generation, they don't want to do anything that doesn't involve social media. Anything else takes too much time away from them. It takes too much energy. They don't want to do it. And I'm sitting up here going, wow. So I'm sitting up here going, save yourself some money. Maybe you get somebody, a nanny or something. Back in the day, it was no such thing as nannies and pair. Mama and them. It was mama and them. That's what we called them. Mama and them. Mama and them. Mama and them. It was mama and them that helped us out whenever they could. And then the generation that came after me, that's when they started getting they started making the in-law suites in the homes that they started building, because those at that generation after the boomers, they start bringing their parents in to live with them to help them out when because both parents had to work. But when I not for me, not the boomers. We didn't have our parents to come live with us. No, we had to do it all ourselves. But so there's a generation between the boomers and the millennials. It was a generation in between them. And so that generation is the generation that, like I say, they wanted that in-laws suite. And they still use that to this day where they have in-laws suites where they bring in their parents to help them in the household or for the purpose of a nanny. The nanny could stay in the in-law suite, but or so forth. Or a guest can stay in the in-law suite. But I'm sitting up here going, what is this girl gonna do? And as a word of advice for you millennials, and you have to potty train, maybe hearing it from an old school like me may help you see just how easy it can be. What you do is you take that baby, you get some pull up pants. I don't know if they still have the pull up diapers. That's what they call them, pull ups. They're diapers, but they pull up. They look like underwear. You put them on that because they got to get used to wearing panties and get out of that stage of wearing diapers. You got to put them on something that look like panties, and you put that on them. And when you now let them wear the diapers to sleep at night. Put the diapers on them when they sleep at night. Then you get them up in the morning and you give them their bath. You put the pull up underwear on them, not a diaper, the pull up, so they can get used to panties. And then you give them some breakfast and you sit their butt on the potty. You put them on a little potty chair. I don't know if they still have the potty chairs for the little people that look like a toilet, a little toilet. You sit them on there and you talk to them. You talk to them and you tell them. You say, look, because see, that baby, 3 years old, she's speaking so intelligently. That means that came from hearing. She heard her mama and her daddy speak intelligently. So speak those intelligent words to her and tell her that it's time for you now to start using, become a big girl and use the bathroom like mommy and daddy do. You have to go sit on the toilet. You can no longer be in diapers. So we got to get you off the diapers. So you have to sit on the potty, put her on the potty after she eat her breakfast. And you say, you sit here until you go pee pee or you go boo boo. And after you do it, you say to mommy that I pee pee and I boo boo, and then you can get off the toilet potty. You cannot get off until you do that. You have to sit here. And that means if you have to sit there for a couple of hours, you got to sit there for a couple of hours and you got to watch her. You got to watch her so you could be in the kitchen prepping food or you could be washing clothes, but you bring her where you at because the potty is, you can move it where into different rooms. You bring her where you at and you keep her sitting on that potty until she tell you she used it. And then she can get up and she can get a treat, whether that be one cookie or half a cookie. She get a treat and she get to go play and you celebrate the fact that she went to the potty. When she go, you clap your hands and you say, yay, I knew you can do it. I knew you can do it. You potty. You a big girl. You're such a big girl. You went potty. That's how you get them potty trained. That's how you do it. And you have to do that again at lunchtime and again after dinner. After they eat lunch, after they eat dinner. In between that time, you got they pull up panties on them and you constantly looking at them saying, do you have to potty? You got this look on your face like you getting ready to, okay, do you have to potty? No, no. Okay, why do you, okay, we're going to go sit you on the potty because you got that look on your face. So we're going to go sit you on the potty. You're going to go sit down because I can see that look. It's coming. Because they're going to tell you no, 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 because this is new to them and they don't want to do anything that's new to them. But you have to be consistent. And when you are consistent, you got to take time and then put in them what it is you need for them to do. This is how they learn. But you can't go crying and she 3 years old and still in diapers. Come on. You got to take some of the skills from your parents' generation and incorporate them into your generation. You have to, you know? So it's not about everything being new and then you don't know how to do nothing but cry and complain. Oh, that was not in our vocabulary when I came up. I didn't have time to cry. I didn't have time to complain because I was constantly moving and doing stuff. You can't sit and cry and complain. You got to do it. Because when my kids came up, the daycare would not accept them if they was not potty trained. They started daycare at the age of 2, and the kids had to be potty trained in order to go to daycare. So trust and believe that put a strain on mothers to get it done before they was 2 years old. So by the age of 2, our kids was fully potty trained because we knew we had to keep going. And we didn't have time because they not going to, now you take a change of clothes in case they have an accident when you take them to daycare. But if you had too many accidents, that daycare was going to kick them out because they weren't cleaning up no mess, no boo-boo, and no pee. If you pee, we got to change the clothes in here, but we ain't cleaning your butt. So you have to have them potty trained. You got to take the time to put into your kids and do that. Millennials, I really hope this help you because you got to not make everything new and fast. You got to use some of the principles from the older generations. You can't just look at us like we just old and we don't know nothing. We do everything the hard way. We do everything, Come on now. You got to get with it. You got to take some of these principles and use them. You really do. Because pretty soon it's going to be like you're going to fade out the old in this new generation. And they just, they, I mean, look at the kids. Wait till your kids get a little older and you're not putting any of these old values into them. And wait and see how they get when they become teenagers. Your baby is talking like she's talking at 3 years old. I'm mad at you, mommy. I'm not speaking to you. If she's saying that at 3, wait till she become a teenager. That's where y'all really change and cut up, where y'all hormones change and y'all begin to develop into that woman stage, and the boys develop into the man stage where their voice begin to change and they get deeper. Oh, that's when their hormones get crazy and they get crazy with it. So if your baby is talking to you like this at 3, just wait until she get into that stage. And the thing is, what can you say? You ain't got nobody to fault but you because you got to instill in her the values and the principles that she can use to not lean on you to do everything for her. So I hope this message bless you, millennials. I really do. I hope y'all get something out of it. Go back and ask your mama now. Go back and talk to your mama now. You know, okay? Let that be a French word for you, mama now, because they got a lot of wisdom. They got a lot of things. I mean, they could come up with some stuff that you can put together to take stain out of clothes. I mean, they are chemists. They are doctors. They are lawyers. They could put together chemicals and know what to mix together that don't explode the house and to do the hard cleaning. I mean, they come up with some ideas. They know how to put stuff on. You got to cut. They ain't got to run to the store and get no antibiotic cream. They know what to do. They know how to mix up a mixture that's just as good as that antibiotic cream that you buy from the drugstore. They got a lot in them. My great grandma, she made her own medicine. She made it for my grandma today's. And some of that stuff got passed down to me. Ask the baby boomers about a visit. A lot of them, we don't even know if we're saying it right, but it was called Visit. That was medicine. That was handmade medicine that worked. Okay, it would knock you in a cold out, and you was cured the next day of any ailment you had. So take into account some of these old principles and use them. Use them, baby girl. Make them your own. Make it something new. But don't count us out. Don't count us out. Because your aunt came and talked to you and she calmed you down. She gave you some good words of wisdom last season. Go back to your aunt and ask her, what should I do if you don't want to take my words for it? How do I get this girl potty trained? How do I get not being so doggone stressed out? And let them help you. I hope this bless you. I really do. I want to see y'all succeed. I really do. You know? So, peace, people. Until next week, I'm out of here. Click the thumbs up or the subscribe button, whatever it is you see on your end. Because, like, I'm not a millennium. I don't know what you see. Maybe I need to go look that up on social media so that you can subscribe for the next episode that's coming up next week, Wednesday. It'll give you a notification. I know that much. Okay? Peace. I'm out. Have a good one. Be blessed. Be safe.